child prodigy or wunderkind is a person who, at an early age, develops one or more skills at a level far beyond the norm for their age. A prodigy has to be a child, or at least younger than 18 years, who is performing at the level of a highly trained adult in a very demanding field of endeavour. The giftedness of prodigies is determined by the degree of their talent relative to their ages. Examples of particularly extreme prodigies could include Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and Teresa Milanollo in music, Bobby Fischer, Magnus Carlsen, Sergey Karjakin, Paul Morphy and José Capablanca in chess, Carl Friedrich Gauss, Shakuntala Devi, Srinivasa Ramanujan, John von Neumann and Terence Tao in mathematics, Pablo Picasso and Wang Ximeng in art, Paul Thomas Anderson and Xavier Dolan in film direction, and Saul Kripke in philosophy. There is controversy as to at what age and standard to use in the definition of a prodigy. The term wunderkind is sometimes used as a synonym for a oe prodigy, particularly in media accounts. Wunderkind also is used to recognize those who achieve success and acclaim early in their adult careers. Memory capacity of prodigies. PET scans performed on several mathematics prodigies have suggested that they think in terms of long-term working memory. This memory, specific to a field of expertise, is capable of holding relevant information for extended periods, usually hours. For example, experienced waiters have been found to hold the orders of up to 20 customers in their heads while they serve them, but perform only as well as an average person in number sequence recognition. The PET scans also answer questions about which specific areas of the brain associate themselves with manipulating numbers. One subject never excelled as a child in mathematics, but he taught himself algorithms and tricks for calculatory speed, becoming capable of extremely complex mental math. His brain, compared to 6 other controls, was studied using the PET scan, revealing separate areas of his brain that he manipulated to solve the complex problems. Some of the areas that he and presumably prodigies use are brain sectors dealing in visual and spatial memory, as well as visual mental imagery. Other areas of the brain showed use by the subject, including a sector of the brain generally related to childlike finger counting, probably used in his mind to relate numbers to the visual cortex. Working memory cerebellum theory. Noting that the cerebellum acts to streamline the speed and efficiency of all thought processes, van der Waart explained the abilities of prodigies in terms of the collaboration of working memory and the cognitive functions of the cerebellum. Citing extensive imaging evidence, van der Waart first proposed this approach in 2 publications which appeared in 2003. In addition to imaging evidence, van der Waart's approach is supported by the substantial award-winning studies of the cerebellum by Masao Ito. Van der Waart provided extensive argument that, in the prodigy, the transition from visual spatial working memory to other forms of thought is accelerated by the unique emotional disposition of the prodigy and the cognitive functions of the cerebellum. According to van der Waart, in the emotion-driven prodigy the cerebellum accelerates the streamlining of the efficiencies of working memory and its manipulation and recomposition of visual spatial content into language acquisition and into linguistic, mathematical, and artistic precocity. Essentially, van der Waart has argued that when a child is confronted with a challenging new situation, visual spatial working memory and speech-related and other notational system-related working memory are decomposed and recomposed by the cerebellum and then blended in the cerebral cortex in an attempt to deal with the new situation. In child prodigies, van der Waart believes this blending process is accelerated due to their unique emotional sensitivities which result in high levels of repetitious focus on, in most cases, particular rule-governed knowledge domains. He has also argued that child prodigies first began to appear about 10,000 years ago when rule-governed knowledge had accumulated to a significant point, perhaps at the agricultural religious settlements of Göbekli Tepe or Cyprus. Nature versus nurture. Some researchers believe that prodigious talent tends to arise as a result of the innate talent of the child, and the energetic and emotional investment that the child ventures. Others believe that the environment plays the dominant role, many times in obvious ways. For example, Lars Edla Cubed Polgar set out to raise his children to be chess players, and all three of his daughters went on to become world-class players, emphasizing the potency a child's environment can have in determining the pursuits toward which a child's energy will be directed, and showing that an incredible amount of skill can be developed through suitable training. But on the other hand, George Friedrich Handel was an example of the natural talenter. He had discovered such a strong propensity to music, that his father, who always intended him for the study of the civil law, had reason to be alarmed. He strictly forbade him to meddle with any musical instrument, but Handel found means to get a little clavichord privately conveyed to a room at the top of the house. To this room he constantly stole when the family was asleep. Despite his father's opposition, Handel became a skillful performer on the harpsichord and pipe organ. See also: Chess prodigy, List of child prodigies, List of music prodigies, Gifted education, giftedness, heritability of IQ, late bloomer, malleable intelligence, savant syndrome. References. Further reading: Ellenberg, Jordan. The Wrong Way to Treat Child Geniuses. Wall Street Journal. Retrieved June 1, 2014. Ito, M. On How Working Memory and the Cerebellum Collaborate to Produce Creativity and Innovation by L. R. van der Voort, P. H. Skimpf, and H. Liu. Creativity Research Journal, 19, 35-38. Robinson, Andrew. Sudden Genius? The Gradual Path to Creative Breakthroughs. Oxford, Oxford University Press. ISBN A978-0-19-956995-3. Les Sommeria, External Links, Notebook, Child Prodigies, CBS News Online, YouTube, February 26, 2010.